Today we're making a beautiful lamb stew, which is a great way to get iron into our diet. So not only do we have lamb, but we've also got lentils and spinach. What I've done with the lamb here is I've actually cut it myself so that I can get rid of all of the excess fat, because that's where all the saturated fat is and we don't want that in our diets. So basically this is a great one pot wonder. It's good for the whole family, great for a winter's dinner, and it's very, very easy. So now what I'm going to do is get my olive oil here and my lamb. I'm going to sear that off in the pot first. So I'll just pour in half the oil, save the other half for the onion later, in a nice hot pan, and we will add in the lamb. Okay, so that's browned. We're just going to grab a bowl and tip it into the bowl and then start cooking off all of our vegetables. Okay, so I'll just turn this heat back on and pour in the rest of our olive oil here. So now we're just going to cook off the onions and the garlic, and we'll come back and get our spices. So just tip the onions in, let them soften a little bit. Okay, so these onions have gotten a little bit of colour and they've definitely softened. So now we're going to add the garlic in. And the reason we don't add them in at the same time is because the garlic would actually burn if it cooked for the same amount of time as the onion. So we've added that in. We're going to add in our spices as well. We've got turmeric, ground coriander and ground cumin. So these are going to be some beautiful aromatics for the dish. So we'll just add them in. So these are nicely toasted and it's releasing a really beautiful smell. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the lamb that I cooked off earlier. So mix that through. As well as some of our vegetables. So we've got some fresh celery here and some chopped carrots. So we'll add them in. They're going to take a lot longer to cook than the spinach or the chickpeas. So put them in. Give that a stir. And then we will add in our tinned tomatoes, which will add a nice flavour to it. Give that a good mix. If you want a little bit of extra spice, remember that you can always add freshly chopped chilli or dried chilli to this dish as well. Now I'm going to pour in my water and I'm going to let that cook for about half an hour. So I'll just add the water in. So give that a mix, put the lid on. Once that's cooked for half an hour, I'll then add in the lentils here. These have actually already been soaking for an hour just to tenderise them, and then we'll put them in. They will cook for another hour, and just before I serve, I'll add in my leafy green spinach, my chickpeas, and my coriander and parsley. Okay, so there we have it. This has been cooking for about an hour and a half. Very fresh, very healthy. It does take a while to cook, but it will keep in the fridge and it will feed a lot. So let's serve it up. Just get a nice ladle full. If all of these grains and veggies aren't enough, you could serve it with a little bit of brown rice, but just remember portion control. So there we go, a big serve of veggies, lots of iron, and just to serve, a nice dollop of low-fat yogurt and a mixture of fresh parsley and fresh coriander. Delicious.